In 2.5 on prefixes and equalities. Nice, easy lesson. I think you'll be fine. So a prefix is a part, an enclitic, I think is what it's called. It's a part of a word before the root of the word. So in the case of any of the metric measurements, a meter, for instance, or a liter, anything that is conveying information of measure, you're going to prefix it by telling you how big or small, or based upon the power of 10. So there are words that mean times 10 or times 100 or times 1,000 or times 10,000. There are words built into the language, and then these words are going to give you the indicator of how big or small that measurement is. For instance, one word is kilo. Kilo is 1,000. So if you have a kilometer, you have 1,000 meters. If you have a kilogram, you have 1,000 grams. So the embedded inside the word kilo is the idea of 1,000 times. So 1,000 meters or 1,000 grams, right? The prefixes are based upon these powers of 10. So starting at the unit, let's do the ones divided first. If you divide by 10, okay, so that's 0.1 meters. Let's do meters here. So a decimeter is 1/10 of a meter. So that would be like a meter divided by 10. That's a decimeter. A centimeter, which you've used in school, any of your time you've used a ruler, you use centimeters. Centimeters are take a meter stick and divide by 100, because centi means 100, and then you're dividing by 100, and so that is a centimeter, part of a meter, 1/100th of a meter. A millimeter is 1,000th of a meter. And now it jumps a little bit because you're only going to use the very, very small ones. The next one that's used is a millionth of a meter, and that's called a micro. And you're using a little weird script there. It's a Greek letter mu, so it looks like a little cursive U with kind of an upstroke there. So micrometer would be 1/1,000,000th of a meter. So if you're measuring something like a human hair or a cell, many times you would be in these smaller units. Nano, definitely inside a cell. So the parts of inside a cell would be nano. So nanotechnology is where people are trying to build machines so small that they would fit inside a cell and, say, repair something that's broken, or do some kind of work that you wanted to do at that small of a level. So nano would be a billionth. So divided by 10 to the 9, right? Divided by 10 to the 9. Pico is so you have a million, a billion, a trillion, okay? And then femto goes to 10 to the 15. I lose my words after that. I'm just saying 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, 15 times. You're dividing that into a meter. That would be a femtometer. Going the other way, going from meter. Remember, meter would be 10 to the 0. That's a meter. It's just a meter, 1. 10 times 10 times 10 is a kilo. So a kilometer, kilometer, is 1,000. Then a million is mega. 10 to the 6 is a million. Giga is a billion, 10 to the 9. And then tera, that's a trillion, 10 to the 12. And then pica, or peta, 10 to the 15. Okay, I think that's quadrillion, maybe, not sure. So select the ones you would use to measure your height. Okay, I would measure my height in meters. Okay, so a meter is roughly 3 feet, so I'm way over 6 feet tall, right? So I would say at least 2-point-something meters. Nah, I'm not. How about B, your mass? Grams is the size of a paperclip or a raisin. So a kilogram would be what you would do your mass in. That's 1,000 of those. Distance between two cities. Your car would not measure in millimeters, but your car would measure in kilometers. So kilometers per hour, how fast you're going. So that's the distance. Width of an artery, okay, width of an artery would be in millimeters. A millimeter is about the width of your pencil lead, would be that. Right. Indicate the unit that matches the description. A mass that's 1,000 times greater than a gram is a kilogram. 1/100th of a meter is a centimeter. 1,000th of a second is a millisecond. All right, that's what all these prefixes are. All right. Now, an equality, if you remember, is just two things that are equal to each other. So if centi means 1/100th of something, that means that the smaller, there's 100 smallers and a bigger. So if a centi means 1/100th, that means there are 100 centis in 1 meter, 100 centimeters. If milli means 1,000th, that means there are 1,000 smalls and a big. So there would be 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter. Right? A centimeter is bigger than a millimeter by 10. By 10. That means that there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. 10 smalls in 1 big. If it's the next one down, if a centimeter is 10 to the minus 2 and a millimeter is 10 to the minus 3, then that's 1 unit of 10 away. That would be there's 10 smallers in a big, 10 millimeters in a centimeter, which means there would be 1,000 millimeters in 100 centimeters. Okay, so 1 meter, okay, if you're going up, now in the previous example I didn't give you decimeter or a decameter. Deca would be 10, so 10 meters is a decameter. 100 centimeters or 1,000 millimeters. Those are all equal to each other. These are equalities. For volume, you have to go in 3 directions. Okay, you have to do length, width, and height, because you're making a 3-dimensional container for something to be in. That's the volume, the air or liquid or whatever would be in it. So a milliliter is defined, that's its definition, is it's the volume of 1 cubic centimeter. So if you had a centimeter times a centimeter times a centimeter, so make a cube out of that, then the containing volume is defined to be 1 milliliter. All right, that's where they get this. So it doesn't happen to just happen to be that. It was defined to be that. 1 milliliter is defined to be the inside volume of a box, centimeter by centimeter by centimeter in dimension. Okay, that way a cubic centimeter, okay, would be 1 milliliter. A cubic decimeter would be 10 meters, or 1/10th of a meter. And so now you have to relate a cubic centimeter to these other units, which we will do in class. Okay. For mass, it works exactly the same because prefixes do not matter. It doesn't matter if it's meters or liters. Now we're in grams, so a kilo is 1,000 grams. 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. 1 milligram is 0.001 gram. Okay, you would just take 1 divided by 1,000. That's how you get it. 1 milligram is 1,000 micrograms. So if milli is 10 to the minus 3 and micro is 10 to the minus 6, then that is 3 away from each other. Okay, 3 is 3 units of 10, so that's 1,000 away from each other. Indicate unit that completes each of the following equalities. 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer. 1,000th of a gram, okay, 1,000th of a gram is equal to 1 milligram, because milli is 1,000th. 0.01 meter that's 100th of a meter, so that would be 1 centimeter. Last one. 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams, so number 3. 1 milliliter, okay, is 1,000th of a meter. So I need to go to the thousands place. So it would be 3 places past the decimal. So B would be number 1. All right? We'll work and work and work until you're smart.